Markerian, and we're taking up from video 2, video 3, where we're going to go through the cleaning of the controls. And after that, video 4, we'll be moving off and having a little bit of fun with how do I stop this damn thing. Okay, having a look down here, we'll talk about the gears and come round. Okay. One thing to check before you go off for a ride is the chain. And looking at the chain, you can see that there's some slack in this. Now that is actually just a little bit more slack than you want. It doesn't quite need adjusting, but it will be coming up to an adjustment soon. Now if, however, the chain is really tight, then all you're going to do is start breaking or sharpening teeth on that sprocket. It's going to end up like a Japanese shuriken. Maybe good for throwing, but definitely not good for brakes, because the sprocket will wear and that'll put more wear on the train, and very quickly you'll have a dead train. Now having a look from this angle, one way to test whether the train is the slack in the train, to grab hold of it here, and you can pull the links here again, just a little bit of a play. So that chain needs adjustment. How do you adjust the chain? Well, I'm not going to do that for you right now, but you loosen off this bolt, same on the other side. No need to loosen it off hoops. Then you undo the lock nut, rotate, tight or loose as needed. Now be very careful here, because the wheel must remain in alignment. Assuming it's in alignment, you don't want to put it out of alignment. So rather than just having a go at this and seeing what's good, and then trying the other side, take it gently. So instead of thinking of how many turns of the nut, think in terms of how many turns of each facet of a nut. So you can have a facet here, the spanner would be on it here, and you turn once so that the facet, the next facet is where the first facet was, and then go bingo, and then you make an equal adjustment on the other side, recheck train. Keep doing that, because if you overcook it and you've got to adjust, then it's a little bit of a play messing things around and pulling the tyre to make sure you've got the tension right. So a little adjustment check, and of course, yes, do everything up on the way out, and a little bit of rag goes a long way. That's what the missus always tells me. Okay, so train, we've talked about gears, front brake. Sorry, this thing is actually a tyre. That was the trick question. Nice new tyre, you can see it's got little grippy things on here. Basic inspection before you go riding off, is it flat? Did it have air in it? Now you can push, you get used to your bike pressure at the correct thing, you give it a push and go, hey, is it under and over? That's actually good for checking out whether it's maybe 3 to 5 psi under, plus or minus. However, tyre gauge, carry with you, if not, up to the old petrol station and give it a whirl. Checking the sides of the tyres for cuts, things in the tread, same with the back. Moving up here. Mirrors. When you have your bike out on the street, ready to take off, put yourself into a position not to get run over by traffic, but you probably normally be riding in, and have the mirrors, horizon about here, air up there, ground down here, so about 2/3 ground, 1/3 air. Your artificial horizon there gives you a nice view of what's happening around. Similarly, 1/3 looking directly behind you, 2/3 looking into the other lane. Similar with the other mirror, and that gives you a nice panorama.